Hey everybody, it's Alexia from amysticspath, back to bring you guys some more clarity. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this week's weekly guidance video. Now, before I get started, I want to say that if you are new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any more weekly guidance, monthly guidance, pick a card readings, messages from spirit, or mini readings. Now, this video is for the week ahead, and we have the energy of how this energy is going to affect us, as well as the pile number 2 of how we need to work with this energy for our best benefit. Now, the cards that we have first are Imperfect Harmony, Bearing Fruit, Root Girl, Benefactor, the Four of Swords, the Prince of Swords, Two of Wands, and the Seven of Coins, a Great Big Love, Fool's Embrace, the Tower, and the King of Swords. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that we have the Tower card here. Now, I feel as though as long as you have not been resisting the divine, as long as you have not been resisting the path or what it is that you are kind of evolving to, that these changes that are going to be coming in this week are of perfect harmony. And if they don't seem as though they are of perfect harmony, it is because there has been some resistance within your life that you haven't accepted some things. So the energy is still in perfect harmony, but it's getting you to possibly break through some things. But that's only if you have not been fully accepting and shedding what it is that Spirit and the universe has been asking you to do. There is this energy of bearing fruit, showing that blessings are going to start to show up within the next week or so for us, for the collective. All right. Now, there's also this energy of the heart being full, and almost this energy of really healing the broken pieces of the self that are rooted in I want to say childhood trauma, like the broken, withered, distasteful pieces of us that we have been trying to heal. I feel like there's going to be an evolution of that healing. I don't feel like it's going to be dwelling on that healing. I feel like there's going to be this evolution or this ingrainment, this energy of heart love energy that is coming in, that is really healing some of that those wounds, whether it is through community, through connection, through the embracement with somebody else, or just the fact that some of these things that are coming in are of healing nature to you and some of the wounds that you may be carrying. All right. We have the Four of Swords and the Prince of Swords, which is essentially the Knight of Swords, along with the King of Swords, which is showing that we need to be very, very mentally clear. Clear is the word. We have the Four of Swords and in this deck, she's kind of just looking and kind of not paying attention to what the masses are doing, but paying attention to her own thing. And her attention has been caught. And this is because, and we can see this light shining down in the back, her attention has been caught from almost this, this calling, right? And we are very, very focused on what it is that is, and listening and executing the moves that we're making, the actions that we're doing is of divine alignment with spirit, and what it is that we're feeling pulled to in a wholesome way that is that we feel as though the divine is pulling, that the divine is pushing us towards. All right, we have the Two of Wands, which is showing that doors are being opened for us to walk through, as well as the Seven of coins that's saying that you have been patient, that you have been waiting for this, you've been waiting for this fruit to bear, to be able to pick. And we can see that she has, her basket is so full that she has it in her basket, she has it in her hand, and there's some left on the trees, that she didn't have to be greedy and take everything. All right, that she has enough, that this is like the abundant and over enough, that, you know, that her basket or her cup is basically overflowing. We're also looking at the Seven of Pentacles, and this is indicating that this is happening within the physical, you guys. All right, and I just want to really focus on the end of that things are happening within perfect harmony and within perfect harmony for your life. I feel like this is an acceleration, and that things are really kind of almost coming through where you may have not thought that they were going to come through before, and that they are coming through, but they are coming through because they are divinely aligned with the path that Spirit is pushing you towards. And again, if there has been any resistance towards where Spirit is pushing you, these changes that are coming in for you may seem more like the breakdown effect than blessings coming in, or like surprises and, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening type energy. So as long as you've been really focusing on what it is that you're supposed to be doing, I feel like this week could bode really well for you, and that there's almost this energy of joy and connection and lightheartedness when we're looking at the energy of benefactor, which is also has to do with grace and generosity, and being very generous with I don't want to say like with ourselves, but and like with ourselves, giving to others, because it's not about that. It's about like just the embodying the feelings of generosity, and it's almost this cross between generosity and feeling full and grateful and being full of loving, positive energies, and really resonating within that. And like I said, there's also this energy of things coming through that is very healing and of very healing nature to some of the things that you kind of like to act like they don't exist, although I feel like there has been some work tended to these areas, and that there will be some healing that is accomplished within, you know, I want to say this week, but it may be, you know, longer than that. There may be this healing energy that's persisting longer than this week, because of the fact that energy is not subjected to, you know, a week or to a time limit. It's done when it's done. It shifts when it shifts. It changes when it changes. All right. Now, how we need to work with this energy for our best benefit. We have the cards of Broken Open, Awakening Genius, Jeweled Web Connectivity, Initiation, the Two of Staves. I'm actually going to bring these over more. The Seven of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Six of Swords. All right. We also have a powerful move, closing door, the Queen of Sacred Circles, and the Page of Coins, which is the Page of Earth. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is, although that blessings are coming in this week, you choose what it is that you do with these blessings. All right. And, you know, like this week and over the course of, I feel like, time to come until this, you know, energy starts to shift. And I guess I'm basically saying that I'm feeling like it's protruding for longer than, you know, this week's period of time. That there's powerful moves that need to be made, that need to be looked at, that need to be on the forefront of your mind. Like we had the King of Swords in our last pile. There's also the energy of completion and closing doors, as well as the Three of Swords. And I really wanted to talk about this, you guys, because seeing this, we have the energy of closing doors and the Three of Swords, right? And then we look at the Two of Swords comes next. So when we're looking at completion and things that need to be completed, when we're looking at the Three of Swords, she's got two swords in the background that are upright, right? And then she's got this other one that her hand is actually over the handle and onto the blade, so she could pretty much be dripping blood from holding onto this sword. And it's causing her emotional stress and emotional turmoil. And this is saying that if there's anything that's heavy and heavily weighing you down, to drop it and to release it. We can see that there's a heart behind here, right in this area. And this is saying to drop this within love within yourself and out of love, all right? Because what it is that there may be, if there is some things that are being hung on to that are emotionally damaging or hindering you, it is time for you to literally drop them, to let them go, to drop them where it is that they stand. When we're looking at the Two of Swords, there's two swords here. And we can tell that she is very, very, very diligent and very almost, we can see, like, I guess, determined, right? We can see the energy shift from being lousy and drained to almost powerful and purposeful. And when I'm looking at this Two of Swords, I see that she's looking through this filter, through this film. Why? Because she's got her eyes on what it is that she is focusing on, and there's nothing else that can be seen. Why? Because of success and victory. To be successful in victory within your life, within your happiness, and what it is that you are achieving. All right? Okay, so then we have the energy of broken open and awakening genius. And really feeling like, one, the universe has really opened us up into almost accepting and believing what's possible for us, and that we're actually awakening to the possibilities and visions through what's happening and what's coming through this week. It's almost like it couldn't be in your face any louder. We have the Two of Staves, which is really focusing on the future and, your next moves. But it's focusing in a way that she's looking out into the water. She's not necessarily in a standpoint of focusing on anything else that isn't for her. She's trying to focus on what exactly is for her. And this energy may be a little bit seclusive. You may be a little bit secluded away. Because you're focusing on what it is that you've realized, what it is that you need to be focusing on, what it is that you're moving towards, what it is that the universe has in store for you, and how that's starting to pan out, and what way you actually want to take things. We have the jeweled web and connectivity, that everything is connected. Everything that we have been through is connected to the point of where it is that we're going, for lessons that we've needed to learn, healing that has needed to be done, and skills that have needed to be acquired. And sometimes our path takes us way over here. Like, if our path takes us way over here and we're trying to get to here, it might take us way over here and then come back down to here, because there was a skill that we needed to get. There was a skill that we needed to achieve. This is also speaking of not being afraid to use your connections within people, because sometimes somebody may possess something that you need, or something may come in the form of someone that you didn't expect, right? You didn't expect it to come from this person, this blessing that you may have been asking for. We have this card of crossing and initiation. And the first thing that I seen when I looked at this card is this yellow circle right here, because this looks like there's nothingness here, right? But I really seen almost like this portal of crossing through and entering through this portal of light, and that it's transporting you to this place of success and victory within your life, all right? But we have to be almost, I feel like, focusing on these things. I feel like within the Page of Pentacles that we are very, very clear and very focused on what it is that we want to be obtaining in the physical, that we are not getting overly excited to the point where it's clouding our vision, and that we're not seeing clearly, or that we get distracted, that we are in this reclusive or this place of really focusing on us, focusing on ourselves, and focusing on being open, being completely open to the universe, to let the universe really radiate with inside of you and without of you, to be able to get to this point. All right. And we've been working hard and diligently to this point. So really have faith, because I feel like there's almost these portals of energy that are going to be picking you up and almost excelling you and putting you in a place where you did not necessarily expect, or doesn't necessarily make sense. Again, as long as you have been doing the work that spirit has been asking you to do this whole time. All right. Now that is what I'm seeing for this week and our week ahead. I hope that everybody has gotten the clarity that they need, and that you all have a great day.